much going to go straight in right now. And we've got the first ban for the blue team here. I wonder what they're going to pick. They all seem quite good champions to pick. We may see some maybe picks against the other team. I don't know. We'll just have to see what's happening. Lunet, how do you feel? In fact, we have got the first couple of bans coming down right now. We got Diana being banned, Twisted Fate, usual ban right there. As we said in previous matches before, very strong in the fact that he can just be everywhere at once, and if he snowballs out of control, it's going to be quite bad. Another great support ban, there's Thresh, coming quite heavily out in the tournaments these days, being able to support his team quite hard as a support role, also known for jungling as well, so two roles there that he can fulfill quite heavily and be able to help pick up kills for. Already seeing Lux ban there as well. Past few games as well, the fact that Lux can output the amount of damage that she can, as I like to say, ton hell of damage that she can, with just a simple combo as well, being able to isolate one person out and focus them down immediately. Last two bans going down is Volibear and Shen. Volibear being a strong jungler and Shen being a strong lane pusher, normally being in the top lane, but obviously can be everywhere at once with his ultimate as well. The TF Shen combo being quite a strong combination indeed.
Hi, Mystery.
Hello.
So how are you doing today?
I am absolutely doing amazing. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. You excited to cast this finals match?
I am really excited to cast this finals match.
That sounds really fun.
Well, I tell you, there's nothing I'd rather be doing than casting this finals match right now. Just for the pure entertainment of you guys, of course. We can already see that we're getting our picks right now coming down. We got, for the blue team, Caitlyn and Sona being picked up. Sona being hovered on at the moment. So we'll just have to see what happens there. And for our red team, they picked up Varus and Jarvan. Jarvan being the first pick, and Varus being the second pick for them. However, there is another pick going on there for Hecarim right there, being picked up as a interesting role there. Doom Pony charging around. Seems to be these two junglers a lot. Can you think why, Lunet?
Well, the reason that Jarvan is picked up so often these days is really because of Amumu falling out of favor. When Amumu came and he got his nerfs, what essentially happened is we had to see somebody fill the void. What we saw filling the void was essentially Jarvan. Jarvan, a crowd control oriented jungler with better early game ganks than Amumu. And what happened from that was Jarvan kind of filled this void as a hard initiator, whereas Hecarim came to light as one of the highest scaling junglers in the late game. He was the best late game scaling jungler in the current meta, and even though he sustained some nerfs, he's still incredibly strong.
And we can already see that the other picks now being picked up. We can see that Ahri's being picked up yet again, being the snowball champion of the last game there. But also for the blue team, they haven't picked their mid laner just yet. They did lose their Lux in this, so they may find themselves at a bit of a disadvantage. However, they may pick a champion. They're at a good advantage to pick a counter champion for Ahri right there, so that could possibly prove potential. And there it is. They're hovering over Gragas right now for that possibility. So that's also quite good. We could also see that they're also hovering over Renekton as well, quite strong in the top lane. They do not know what they're going to be facing up against though, as they seem to be quite back and forth with their roles at the moment. Caitlyn and Sona versus maybe Varus and Taric.
Yep, and now, please excuse the noise in the background, ladies and gentlemen. For the purple team, we have got this Jarvan and Varus combo coming out again. I really like this combination. It's a very strong crowd control oriented combo coming out from everybody for this team, and we see a nice Taric picked up as well. It's going to give them quite a bit of laning presence. Varus coming out with a lot of that poke and that hard engage from Taric, as well as the stat boost, is going to be great.
Absolutely. and it seems that they've changed their role there from Gragas to Katarina. Katarina being quite strong in the fact that she can just go straight in and out of a lot of engagements. That Death Lotus being a bane of a lot of team fights, especially when she pulls off a full combo on someone. And there's the last pick, hovering over an Elise there, managing red team, managing to pick up a very nice, interesting top laner that can go in and out of a lot of team fight engagements.
And if they manage to lock this in, it'll be even more interesting considering the double stuns that are going to be coming out from the purple team. You know, you've got Jarvan with this hard engage, you've got Elise, somebody who can use that repel, get up over the walls and get right into the fight with Jarvan, as well as a stun that's going to be coming out from her. You've got the charm coming out from Ahri, and then you've got the dazzle coming out from Taric, as well as Varus' ultimate. This is going to make for a lot of very consistent crowd control going down into this fight. They're going to be able to lock up whoever they want for however long they want, and that's why this Katarina is a very scary pick. Chinese Pride could be in a lot of trouble here coming in with this pick versus a team that has a lot of disruption and crowd control, may end up negating his ultimate altogether.
Absolutely. So, sorry, I'm a little bit out of it right now. I don't know why. Really sorry about that. So we can already see that we're coming down to the ending results right there. We've got the Jarvan versus maybe Hecarim. I say, do we have the summoner blockers down yet, or are we waiting for the timer?
No, we're waiting for the timer to come out, and then we'll go ahead and put up the summoner blockers. And oh my god, how has Hawkeye been in the TowerDiveTV chat for so long and not had moderator? I don't even understand what's going on with that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and switch that out now while we listen to some good music. Dance in our chair a little and get ready to switch these overlays over. But the final results for both teams are going to be Sona, Hecarim, Caitlyn, Katarina, and Renekton. Purple team will have Jarvan, Varus, Taric, Ahri, and Elise.
Absolutely. So, what do you think these two teams are going to be doing right now? What do you think their strategies are with these two team comps?
Really, I think the purple team is going to be going for all-out AoE engage, and the blue team is going to be running something very similar to what they ran last time. They have a little bit of a disengage, but this is a team that doesn't mind being straight up in the face of the fights, barring the Caitlyn, really. Katarina is somebody that has to get into the middle of a fight to really execute her full damage combinations properly. You've got Sona coming in with the crescendo, and then the disrupt with the fear from Hecarim coming out to allow Katarina to try and do as much damage as she possibly can, while Renekton basically sits around, is a stun bot, and deals out as much damage as he possibly can. So what we're seeing from both teams is kind of this AoE engagement. The problem that comes out from the purple team is they've got more isolated crowd control, which means that if they want to go ahead and lock down one specific individual to take out from the team overall, they can go ahead and do that. The blue team, their crowd control is more AoE oriented, but because of that, they're not going to be able to isolate targets as well. And this is where really Renekton, Katarina, and Caitlyn come in to go ahead and get that burst down. So we're going to have to see what happens in this game. It's all going to come down to the execution of the team fights.
Absolutely, I have to agree. If the initiation goes well for the blue team, then I believe the blue team will have this. But if the engage goes better for the red team, then it's pretty much who can get the initiation off the quickest and the best, being able to pull off maybe the surprise move, or even the quick move of that they can't react to the moment of time.
Yeah, it's important to note that these team fights will all come down to really the execution of Sona and Hecarim for the blue team. And for the purple team, it's going to be all about Jarvan and Varus. It's going to be landing those ultimates and landing them at the people that matter. That is going to make these team fights really go in their favor, whether it be for, I want to be a Power Ranger, is that correct? It's I want to be a Power Ranger?
It is I want to be a Power Ranger.
Versus Lunets Army. So on the blue team, Lunets Army going to be going in here, and for the purple team, I want to be a Power Ranger. Both teams going for an AoE-oriented comp. The only thing is that I think the blue team has a little bit better options for disengage in terms of both the Hecarim ulti and the Sona ulti that come out. You know, a turnaround crescendo can really stop the hard engage, and what we saw last time from a Sona going up against an AoE comp is, you know, Sona comes in, they wait for the Jarvan to engage, they go ahead and crescendo the backline. He's ready to jump in after the Jarvan. And what that does is it goes ahead and disrupts the flow of the AoE. Varus isn't getting his ultimate off right away, and it's really this disruption in CC that we're seeing and that really is something that Sona should be playing up in this match, but we'll have to see. We are getting out of the delay, and now we're going to go ahead and get into the Border Wars and Skin Intimidation.
Yeah. So, who do you think will win our Border and Skin Intimidation before we quickly get into the game? Or are you already in?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Lunets Army. Not saying that I'm biased as a caster or anything like that, because that totally isn't what's going on right now. But I'm pretty sure it's just everything is for Lunets Army. And I'm sorry, but I'm right because Slaybell, Katarina, and Muse Sona win everything. I'm sorry.
Well, let's have a look right now. We've got 4 diamonds for Lunets Army, whereas we've only got, I believe, 3 diamonds for I Want to Be a Power Ranger, with 2 platinums for them compared to Lunets Army's 1. However, with skin-wise, we've got a full 5 skin man team versus only, I think, 2 skins.
I'm just gonna message Chinese Pride. Play for me and be my official team. That's all that needs to happen. Lunets Army, now the official team of TowerDiveTV.
Win.
Yeah,
absolute
but
win.
Looks like everybody's loading in here right now. Yeah, that Skin Intimidation definitely going over to them. It's always important to keep in mind, though, that borders aren't necessarily indicative of skill. As we saw earlier, some actual plat players not being ranked last season. That's always something to keep in mind. But as we get into this game here, both teams going to be looking to rock an AoE comp, and I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on this music, off this music, on this music, off this music. It's going to be somewhere around there as we go ahead and get into this. And as Saki put it earlier, at least running on potato power right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to just say one thing. I think we're all kind of in Lunet's Army right now. We've got you as Muse Sona, and I like to think myself as Headless Hecarim in this fight because my birthday is on Halloween, so I have to have the Halloween guy.
How come you get to have the cool birthday date? You get freaking Halloween? Are you kidding me right now?
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I have to be born on an awkward day.
I was born on Halloween. It was awesome. When I came into the world, my mommy dressed me like a pumpkin. That's all I'm envisioning right now. Like, your first day into this world, you go ahead and get all dressed up. Be awesome.
I did. All I did was in fact, I had the worst birth ever, but that's another story for another time.
Oh god, alright, we're totally changing subjects right now as we get into this game and see the starting items coming out, and Caitlyn going to go ahead and start with a Doran's Blade. This is becoming more and more standard on AD carries, especially AD carries that have some form of sustain coming out from their supports. The two options right now are kind of like Longsword and 2 pots, and then we also see the Doran's Blade coming out. Boots and 3 pots has fallen out of favor after everybody got a universal increase to their movement speed. Their base movement speed, that is. So we're not really seeing Boots start up anymore.
In a way, I kind of like the fact that these guys have got now the universal increase in speed. It just means that they can actually put their money towards something a bit more efficient, like damage or pots or even survivability, rather than having to get yourself moving as soon as possible. And that's really what kind of the whole point of Season 3 was about. We're transitioning out of an old meta into a new type of meta right now.
Yeah, and I really do like seeing a lot of the changes that came from Season 2 to Season 3. You know, we're not seeing a universally changing meta. We're not seeing something where every 2 weeks, you know, we're getting some new hardcore meta outside of really the items that have been a little bit overpowered and we've seen come into favor, like Warmogs, Blade of the Ruined King, Black Cleaver, and things like that. But everything is kind of settled down to where you know about the basics in this meta. It's all becoming fairly standard for Season 3 right now, and we've gone out of that transition from Season 2. So now as we look into things, we've got Jarvan starting at his blue and a red start for Hecarim. This is actually something really interesting to see. I have not seen a Hecarim start red in quite some time.
It's definitely interesting to see that Hecarim has decided to pick up his red first rather than the blue, but it does mean he will finish his jungle at the top, which means he could possibly go for that early gank on Elise if he wants to, which is not too bad for a Hecarim, especially if you want to shut down that Elise early as possible.
Yeah, and Elise has a really strong early game. The only problem that comes out from her early game is she is rather frail as a champion overall. So you see she started with Cloth and then a 5 pots build, so that's going to enable her to compensate for a little bit of that frailty, but it's only going to do so much at this point. If Hecarim comes up for an early level 2 gank, or level 3 gank rather, on to this poor Elise, she's going to be in a world of pain, but it looks like they're actually going to go on to this Ahri here. Hecarim prepping for this gank in mid lane while a few blows are exchanged back in bot lane, but he can immediately tell she has a ward down there and that it's not worth going in.
In fact, as I say, Ahri missing both her moves there against the Katarina. Katarina using a good use of her moves there, managing to get a quite good amounts of poke onto that Ahri as possible. She missed both her charm and her ball being missed twice there. Not very good for the Ahri there.
Yeah, that Orb of Deception really important. That's obviously Ahri's source of damage coming out. Foxfire does a little bit of damage, and of course you've got a small bit of damage coming out from the Charm. But, I mean, overall, missing that Orb of Deception is going to be huge for her. So I'm going to go ahead and see her land that a bit more. That Charm into Orb combo, exceptionally potent, and will do quite a bit, especially on the true damage return that comes out of it. Now, we do have Hecarim coming out here, but it looks like Ahri is just going to go ahead and get away. Hecarim forced to escape through the other side of that mid lane, but it is warded, so he is going to be spotted there and is just going to go and head up, potentially towards top.
Maybe. And whereas actually in the top lane, we can see that Renekton has Elise kind of backed up to a turret right now. He is taking quite a bit of poke from Elise right now, which is not probably the best thing he wants to be doing, but at least he's managing to keep a lot of the creeps away from her as possible. But it doesn't seem to be working that well. Looking at the creep score, we can see that she is already 11 creeps ahead of Renekton.
But now we can see Ahri getting very low, forced it back, and Katarina will flash for the first blood. And now Katarina, an excellent shumpo back to her creeps, and that will go ahead and get her out of that situation immediately. Not even, that was an amazing first blood on the part of Chinese Pride there.
Absolutely amazing indeed. Just perfectly executed. Ahri didn't really expect it coming. She thought she was out safe. Chinese Pride utilized this basically feel of safety, utilized that feeling, and just went straight for the kill, and Ahri didn't react quick enough to be able to get away.
And now we see Caitlyn returning to poking down in the spot lane, and Chinese Pride just exchanging a couple of blows with Jarvan right now. She's not really too worried about the damage that he's able to put out, and with Hecarim close by, she's not exactly concerned about the crowd control either. But now, nearly level 6, we're going to see a lot more potent plays coming out from Katarina here in the next couple of minutes. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, it looks like Sona and Caitlyn back against their tower right now, forced to farm from a distance, and we see Hecarim coming in, the flash being burned on the part of both Varus and Taric, so an excellent play by Sona, getting really close, baiting them out into the potential engagement, and then Hecarim coming in, forcing out those flashes.
Really good. Now all Hecarim needs to do right now is be able to pick up another good gank like that. If he does really well in that situation again, it means that he can pretty much start picking up a kill. Whereas there's a little bit of engagement going on in the top lane. Renekton and Elise trying to do a bit damage between each other, but I think Renekton's still taking a bit too much poke compared to Elise.
Yep, and to clear up some confusion, yes, the blue team is Lunets Army, the red team is I Want to Be a Power Ranger, and in the mid lane we do see the engagement coming down onto Chinese Pride. He is going to get very low, that Ignite ticking, but the auto attack will go ahead and finish him off, and now Caitlyn coming in and getting quite a bit of damage down onto Varus, but luckily with Taric coming back, he is able to turn that around for himself into an added number of damage onto Caitlyn, because that totally made sense. You know, I'm good at this game. That is all I have to say right now. I'm like super hungry. I'm ready to start my marathon. I'm still casting games. I haven't eaten today. It's like 7 o'clock.
I will say one thing right now. Ahri is missing a lot of her moves and is wasting a lot of her mana as well, which is not very good to be doing as an Ahri right now. She managed to miss a lot of her kit on Katarina. The only reason she picked up that kill was because Jarvan managed to get that gank on her, which was a good play on Jarvan's part, but it's just kind of sad to see that Ari isn't doing as good as she should be doing against Katarina. Katarina doing a perfect job of moving around Ari and dodging her abilities.
Yep, and in the meantime, in the bot lane, we just see a lot of poke going down onto Varus right now. He is not in the best position in terms of health right now, but Renekton doing a bit better, going ahead and dodging out these skills by, at least I say, as he goes ahead and gets stunned. But here we go, the charm will disrupt Chinese Pride's ultimate as he goes in and chunks Ari down below half health. You can see ward coverage going down all across the map for both teams, heavily centered around this bottom lane and Dragon right now. See the stun coming out from Renekton in the top lane, but no follow-up on that for damage, as Elise just returns to smacking around creeps.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nice ward coverage there by Katarina, I must say. They were pinging to maybe try and get that blue, but in the end, the ward pretty much saved Katarina's life. She could pretty much see Jarvan was there, ready to do a bit of stuff. Now this is interesting, as they're going to be a gank
coming out down in the bot lane, followed by Varus' ultimate, but it is not going to be enough. That crescendo working as a beautiful disengage, but a flash has been burned on the part of Sona, so not in the best situation there. But in the top lane, we have the repel coming up. Elise has got nowhere to go. She's forced to flash out. The fear coming out from Hecarim, and then the stun following up, and she will certainly fall with an ignite thanks to Renekton.
Really good plays by both teams in both those engagements. Perfect gank there by Hecarim to pick up that Elise kill. Luckily, both of them tanking the turret just long enough so they could pick up that kill. Ari pinging now to see that Katarina is missing, even though she is now returning to the lane. Really nice engagement on bottom as well, even though no kills were really passed on both sides. There was pretty much a good use of summoner spells and abilities to disengage as quick as possible.
Yeah, it was certainly a good try now, and I like what Sona's doing. She's getting very brazen about her poke right now because she can see that Taric has no mana. This is absolutely the perfect time to poke because they can't do anything about it. They don't have a way to combat the damage with heals, and they don't have anything to stun with. So they're going to go ahead and push up this lane, and then the blue team is going to go ahead, and it looks like Sona's actually going to stick around in this lane here. This could be a very bad decision for her, as Taric is starting to regain health, and if he gets enough from a stun, she's going to die. So it looks like she's finally going to back off here. Oh, and it looks like Hecarim and Katarina are charging up for the potential engage. The pings have gone down. Ari and Jarvan are collapsing, so they're going to be forced to back out here. If Sona comes up with them, and this may... No, it doesn't look like they're actually going to go for a dragon. I thought they were going to do that. Oh well, guess I'm a baddie.
It's not too bad, to be honest. I don't think they want to engage the dragon this early in the fight with this much lack of knowledge of where the other team is. So it's not a bad choice on their part not to do the dragon right now. Yes, they've got the two places warded. Katarina could went for a potential gank there, but Hecarim managed to place that ward in just the perfect place to see that Ari and Jarvan were coming so that they could disengage right away from the idea of that fight. And that was pretty much the best choice they made.
Here we go in the top lane. Elise's spider form coming out. And she is going to go ahead and do her best to get away. That fear coming out, and then Renekton, hopefully no, he's actually going to back off. The pings coming down. They knew Ari and Jarvan were there, so better safe than sorry. Getting out of there, having gotten Elise down rather low, but now she's back in lane by herself against a Renekton who will soon have ultimate.
Absolutely. It's coming down to the fact that Renekton's managed to get that advantage on the Ari, not the Ari, sorry, the Elise. Elise using repeat.
Repel come out, and she will exactly land just where she went up. She didn't have to go to, so she will manage to get out of that in a nice trade against the friendly uncle, who will manage to take quite a bit of damage from her poke. Speaking of poke, down in the bot lane, Caitlyn is going to get chunked down below half health. Is going to be forced to be very cautious here right now. Sona coming in with those heals will manage to save her from quite a bit of damage. But Taric and Varus really taking an advantage in this lane, despite the fact that Varus isn't actually farming as well as Caitlyn.
I want to point out that I don't really like Taric Varus that much. Varus, yes, he's strong, but he doesn't seem to be good at the close range fighting. I prefer kind of like a Graves or even a what's the champion's name I'm thinking of right now? Corky, I think it is, to go with a Tarek because of that
Oh,
armor
and there's
shred.
the crescendo going out. Hecarim coming up in here, but the ultimate coming out from Varus, and then Cataclysm has gone down. Sona getting very low. She will fall here after putting an exhaust down, but Katarina is here to respond. That's 1 kill for her. She will go ahead and Shumpo under turret. Will she manage to pick up? There's the double kill. The reset will manage to net her the triple, and she'll get out of there alive. The problem is that Ari is right there, so she'll go ahead and Shumpo behind this back line. A flash coming out, followed by the shutdown. The ignite is down onto Caitlyn, but Arya's got nowhere to go right now, so she will go ahead and pay with her life for that shutdown bonus, ending that up in a 2-for-4 exchange in the favor of the blue team.
Blue team, Lunets Army really pulling out all the stops right now, using their knowledge from their previous matches to basically enforce their positioning right now. They're winning these early engagements really well right now. That engagement on bottom, getting Katarina a triple kill there, and she's going to really nicely snowball from that, I think.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that the red team had to be really cautious of that is kind of getting out of their control. Katarina is a very snowbally champion, and depending on how she builds, they may not have an option of shutting her down later, especially with the potential Zhonya's coming out of her from the late game. It's going to make her very difficult to kill. Followed up by the crescendo and the CC coming out from Hecarim, it'll make things exceptionally difficult for them. So Renekton's able to peel, as well as Sona and Hecarim, and Katarina's just able to sit in the middle of everything and ultimate and essentially spin to win. And oh my god, we have a pause coming out, and I am hungry, so I'm going to be right back while we're paused. If this goes off of pause, Mystery, you're on your own for a second.
That's entirely fine. We'll remind everyone that I am looking at the Twitch chat right now. If any of you guys got any questions, hopefully not like the last one, please, guys. I did have a girlfriend, I do have a, well, I say did, I still do have a girlfriend watching this stream. Please don't embarrass me any more than what you've already done. My god, I had to sort out the situation. But anyways, if you do have any questions or any shoutouts you want me to throw out there, please throw them in the chat and I'll do my best to throw them out there for you.
Woo! I'm back, except I have food, but I didn't get a drink, but I don't even care.
Woo! With
I'm very hungry right now. It's, like I said, it's almost 7 o'clock, and I have yet to eat today, so I've got chicken and rice. I could not be happier.
At least you got something.
That. Yes,
well, we're now
go.
coming out of the pause, and we're going straight back into the pause instead.
Really? Are we?
Well, it looks like they are getting themselves sorted now, so it looks like we may come straight back out of the pause rather than going straight back into the pause. Yep, here we go. Now running straight back in. TowerDive, I think you're going to have a little bit of a talk with your army there.
Yeah, I know, right? Everything is just all so disjointed at the moment. And man, I was hoping that pause would last just a little bit longer so I could go ahead and stuff my face with a few bites. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself on stream here for a total of 60 seconds.
I will be counting in my head, but while she's doing that, I will be looking and analyzing at each lane. At the moment, Katarina is 4-2, probably the strongest member out of their team right now. Only other person I can see that would probably be quite strong is either Caitlyn or Renekton. I think I'm going to give it to Caitlyn, as she is 109 creeps compared to Varus's 113. She is closing the gap between them right now. She has got that BF sword and that big axe ready to build into that Infinity Edge. Whereas the Varus has got his Bilgewater Cutlass and his Berserker Greaves, as well as a double Ordnance to give himself a nice bit of damage there. Nice little engage in the bot lane right now. Nice use of Caliber net from the Caitlyn to disengage a good fight, which Varus was maybe potentially wanting to do. But she did manage to hit that Caliber net as he was retreating. They have got the wards in the bot lane. There's a few pings down there, but I don't think really anything is going to go on right now. They're going to poke down that turret instead to see what is going to happen. Jarvan may try and engage and help them in the bot lane right now, but I don't think much is going to happen until he does. In fact, he is waiting around ready, whereas Renekton picks up. Hi, how you doing? I'm just
we do have the engage in the mid lane, but it's not going to result in any kills. Both ultimates blown on the part of Katarina and Ari, and even after taking a few bites, I feel so much better right now. Well, we did
awesome.
see the first tower going down in the game. Top lane going ahead and picking that up on the parts of Lunets Army. And once again, we see this Caitlyn just hammering out damage, more so than anything to try and annoy the enemy team right now. You saw her use her ultimate to prevent them from backing earlier, and a Piltover Peacemaker doing the same exact thing yet again. So excellent plays on the part of Caitlyn, forcing her opponents to essentially stay in lane.
I will say now, they probably do know that Hecarim is there. They did see him with that ward there, but will they know he's going to be there, or will they know he's coming after them? I don't know. It looks like Hecarim is going to back off. They know he's there. They're staying very nicely behind their turret to stop anything happening. They're going to be playing very cautiously right now, I think, the red team, as they're not in the place to really play anything but cautious.
Yeah, we see blue team getting this slight advantage over them. You know, 2,500 gold. It's not too much, but it's going to start snowballing out of control here in the next couple of minutes, especially if they can coordinate another couple of ganks. And with Katarina being as fed as she is at this point of the game, it could be problematic. Now, we see in the bot lane the crescendo coming out, the Varus ultimate having triggered that, the flash coming out from Taric, followed by the exhaust, but in the top lane we also see Elise getting engaged on. The ignite is down, she's repelled, but she's got nowhere to go, and they know it, so they're just going to run with this. They will manage to pick up the kill. Friendly Uncle taking that home, and no kills resulting in the bot lane.
Very nice engage on the bot lane. They timed it quite well. However, it just wasn't
And
enough.
again,
And I think
Taric caught out here. He's going to be forced to heal, but it may not be enough. That 90 caliber net getting her quite a bit closer. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to pick up the kill, but very close. Is Katarina coming in with her ultimate on to Grumpy Lol, going to get off quite a bit of damage. So now it's all down to the cooldown. Chinese Pride wanting to come in here, and there is Hecarim. He's going to go in under tower with the ultimate and then the knockback, and this will spell the end of Katarina, or of Ari rather, as Katarina shumpos out of that fight. Jarvan coming in here to respond, but he's just not going to be able to do anything.
few flashes used in that fight. One used by Ari and one used by Katarina. Katarina using it to pick up that kill there. Very nice use there to be able to do that as well. So kudos to Chinese Pride for doing that. Whereas kudos to Mr. Cow as well to capitalizing on that engagement there. Ari getting a little too cocky for her own boots, trying to pick up that Katarina. However, Mr. Cow, aka Hecarim, coming straight in there to pick up that nice engagement.
And we can see Elise unfortunately just out-juked right there. That flash and slice and dice got Renekton out of range for that repel, which may have netted Elise the kill there. So very nice play on the part of Renekton. But we are 19 minutes into the finals of this TowerDiveTV tournament, number 24. Your blue team being Lunets Army, and your red team being I Want to Be a Power Ranger. The score is 8-3 with a gold advantage sitting on the blue team right now of nearly 5,000 gold. Or I can do math. That's not 5,000 gold.
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000 and almost 500 gold. Just ignore me right now. And Sona walking into a brush right here. The Varus ultimate followed by Terix will go down. She will easily get cleaned up. And now Caitlyn forced to back out. But Hecarim is in here, and there we go. That will be a very dead Terix. Now she's going to try and juke it to the bushes to deny line of sight, but it looks like Renekton's here as well to try and combat this. And Ari trying to go in with her ultimate. She will manage to get the kill down onto Hecarim, but Katarina coming in here for the cleanup. And this is scary, ladies and gentlemen. Renekton coming down. He's still got his ultimate burning, and there we go. There's the ultimate from Caitlyn, and there we go. Yet another kill going to Katarina right now. And
Katarina is, I will say right now, 7-2. We've got a 2-0 Caitlyn and a 2-0 Renekton. The blue team, Lunets Army, is dominating the Power Rangers right now. They are stomping right now. They're getting their champions to have a bit of a snowball right now. This could possibly be the end for the red team, but do you think they might be able to come back from this?
if they do come back from this, it's all going to be down to executing those team fights. Something that we saw in the last game, where we saw a very AoE heavy comp with Jarvan and Forest, but more importantly, we do have the Crescendo going out. It will manage to miss, but that repel with nowhere to go. At least we'll be forced to flash over the wall, so a flash for a Crescendo, certainly nothing wrong with that.
Certainly nothing wrong indeed.
In terms of the red team coming back, they're going to have to get into a team fight phase, and they're going to have to execute it properly. That means following up Jarvan ultimate into Varus ultimate with Elise using targeted stuns as well as Taric, preferably not even the same target so they can maximize the amount of crowd control coming out at one point while Ahri just runs around and does damage by proccing her ultimate. And it's really something that they're going to have to execute. The thing is that the blue team, they're trying to keep this laning phase intact as long as possible, and they're trying to do so that they can pull out as many favorable kills and shut down as many people as they need to. And they've done a good job in securing themselves a lead by doing this, something that we saw that we didn't see the last time we saw an AoE team con.
Absolutely, and as I said before, they've learned from their previous mistakes. They've learned from the first couple of engagements. They saw right. We actually, the pause again. They thought, right, we did kind of fuck up that early time last game in that semi-final. We let the other team, or we boosted the other team up too quickly. We rushed it into mid-game when we weren't fully ready. This time they're making it last. This time they're trying to make it so that they don't rush it into mid-game just yet, though it may be transitioning into it very soon, because we can already see. But this time the blue team seems to be more prepared for that.
Yeah, we're kind of already out of the early game right now, and transitioning very slowly out of the lane phase, and you totally didn't just catch me with a mouthful. So while I'm swallowing here, from what we're seeing right now, who do you think is going to end up taking this game home, and why?
It's definitely leaning towards the blue team's favor at the moment. They have at least 3 champions that seem to have started their snowballing, with Katarina leading the pack, having a 7-2 lead right now, which is incredibly strong for a Katarina, especially since she's one of those champions, as Lunet said before, that can snowball out of control very easily, if not contained. But I do believe that if the red team pull off the right engagement, they may be able to turn this around. They just need to find the time where they can pull off the right engagement to be able to pull off the right sort of kills on the other team.
All excellent points, and now we're just waiting for this pause to essentially be turned off. You got anything in the chat, any particular reason why this one went out?
Let's have a look at the chat right now to see if anything is going on. Nothing real, no real comments at the moment in the chat to see what's going on in Twitch TV. Whereas if we look into the other chat for our thing, we can see that.
I was talking about in-game, you dirty
in-game
face.
chat. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Bit of miscommunication there. Sorry. We've got Renekton saying they've got TOT. Sorry guys, they got a bit of a technical difficulty with their mid laner. They were trying to pride having a few problems with his computer, I think.
Alright, well in the meantime guys, we're gonna go ahead and play a little bit of music, and when the pause comes off, we will be back, hopefully for this final match of the TowerDiveTV Weekly number 24.
See you in a moment. No, it's cool. I believe that's a Miss Lunet returning. Right, I will have to say the pause is still on at the moment, guys. I will be looking at the Twitch chat while this pause is on. If you have any questions for me or Miss Lunet, I will happily try and get them across to her if she's not got her thing muted at all. Whereas if you have any shout-outs you want me to do, I will also try and get those done for you as well. I believe we did have earlier Rotom saying it was his birthday in a couple days. So happy birthday to Rotom on Monday even. So that is that. If you have any requests as well, just ask and I'll do my best to sort those out for you. No bad ones again, guys. I think I should add Sucky Mans too. Why am I British? Because I was born in Britain, preferably. And how does it feel to be British? Well, it feels good, honestly. It feels good to be British. And can you have a Jaffa cake? You're gonna have to come over here and get it, I'm afraid. Or I will send you a box, Socky Man, since you're a good friend of mine. If you send me your address. Kano asks, Mist, would you defect to America anytime soon? Probably not. I will cast for America still, as I do like the American community compared to the EU community, but other than that, I don't think I will be defecting to America. Sorry, Kano. Azaraki asks, Mist Raw. Well, rawr. I think that's it for questions. Those are some really good questions. Coming from our own team of casters as well, I must say. Cloud Titan says, the Titan of Clouds demands that you are no longer be British. Well, sorry, I don't answer to the Titan of Clouds. I answer to my own god. Thank you very much. Will I speak in an American accent? I can give it a go. Maybe. You're gonna make me do impressions now, aren't you? Well, little miss, that's a mighty fine teacup you have there. I think I made Lunet cry a little bit. Azabaki says scones are actually pretty cool. Scones are actually pretty cool. Rotom asks, is mayonnaise an instrument? No, it's a topping for your sandwiches. So if you ever or having something to dip your chips in, I personally don't like mayonnaise. I know, I'm getting the best. I'm getting the best questions at the moment. I have no clue why, but who is my favorite champion? It is a tie between Ziggs and Vega, but I will give it to Vega because he has the best skin for me. Sly asks, is my god soup? I don't know if that's aimed at me or a Titan, so I'll let that one slide for now. Kano asks, Misk, do you drink tea in the morning and all the time? I drink tea when I want to drink tea. It helps wakes me up. The caffeine is quite nice to wake. Whereas you Americans have coffee, we have tea. Flaming Killer asks. Oh, Flaming Killer's answering Kano's question. Thanks, Flaming. You didn't have to answer my own question for me, though. Next guy, doesn't Vega's voice annoy you? No, it doesn't. It's the best voice in the game, compared to a couple others. I mean, who doesn't want a little bad guy, like the tiniest bad guy ever, who basically in one of the Summoner's articles tries to steal a Yordle spaceship. With balloons, I might add, and horseshoes. That's so cool! How can you not like that? Lunette, I think that's a question for you. It says, who Lunette loves next? I think she's got him.
I love everybody. And yeah,
she loves everybody.
I've totally been finishing this chicken and rice while I waited.
I say, Flaming Killer asks, who do you love most after Nibbles?
I love everybody equally, except for Nibbles. She's special. Nibbles and Hawkeye. Anyways, we're finally back into this game, so I can go ahead and pause this music. And am I unmuted everywhere? I'm unmuted everywhere. Good.
Question time over, guys. Thank you for your questions. They were a little bit insightful, but oh well. I'm happy to amuse. So we'll get back right into the game.
Alright, and now that we're finally back into this game, we don't have any more pause time that should be allowed to go down. Do you know who initiated that pause?
I believe it was Lunets Army. It was because of Chinese Pride having a bit of technical difficulties with his computer, I think. So.
Well, we do keep the pause time per one team to 10 minutes, so they shouldn't have the ability to do so anymore. So hopefully we'll be seeing the end of this game fairly soon. So we are 22, hopefully. Actually like half an hour in, given the pause time that came out. I'm going to go ahead and use... Ooh, I'm not going to use the jump to live feature because we're right in the middle of the action, and it looks like Hecarim is going to get taunted. That Cataclysm coming out, followed by the Crescendo. And here we go, Katarina coming in for the maximum amount of damage that she can. She's got those resets off, and there we go. That will be the end of the fight with a double kill resulting for both Katarina and Renekton. And the potential... Yeah, this is definitely going to be an ace coming out. The triple kill for Katarina. And that
unofficial triple kill.
Yeah, unofficial triple kill, but that will leave the score at 16-5 at 23 minutes into the game.
Blue capitalized on that engagement very well. The red team trying to go for a quick kill on Hecarim, who found himself a little bit out of line there, but it wasn't that bad as we saw the Crescendo go down perfectly. We saw the Hecarim's ulti timed perfectly. He didn't just use it straight away. He just charged in, got himself caught out, and then used the ultimate when he needed to, and got out of there, which left Katarina enough time to burst them all down with a perfectly timed Death Lotus.
Yeah, now what happened was that Jarvan tried to come in with the Cataclysm down onto Sona, and now everybody tried to follow up behind, not keeping too much awareness on Sona's positioning. So she tossed out a Crescendo, and what happened from that point was fairly simple, and oh my god, you've got to be kidding me.
We've got a disconnection for the blue team at the moment. Mr. Cow has disconnected.
But the game is going so good for them.
Lunets Army is just having a few difficulties at the moment, and it's not going well for them.
Yeah, you do hate to see this thing kind of happen. Lunets Army way stretched out in front in this game. You see 38.5k gold to 31.8k, so they've got quite the hefty gold advantage going on right now. They've got the map control coming out, and they've also got the kill advantage. So I'd be really upset to see if they had to 4v5 this, because they're executing these fights perfectly. With one form of CC followed up by another, they're managing to just burst down every target they need to, and it's just going swimmingly for them. I would hate to see this end, and I'm being told politely to control my army, to which I had to say, unfortunately, I wish I could, but I can't reach through the internet and hurt people, so...
Well, nothing we can do about that until he's back. In fact, he is back right now. We are going to finally see a finish to this game. Hopefully it could turn... Hopefully red team can capitalize on this. If not, well, we'll just see more stomping for the blue team.
Everybody in chat now is saying that that poor Mr. Cow got DDoS. Clearly that's what's going on, because they're in the lead this game.
Oh dear. Maybe it's not even their fault. Maybe there is a... Maybe they're actually getting...
a thing.
Maybe they're getting hacked by the red team, and this is why there's so many technical issues. So the red team is doing stuff behind the scenes. What if that happened?
That you're just miss. You're terrible.
Over-speculating.
Yeah, you're terrible, but I love you, so it's okay. So now we are 25 minutes into this game. We've gone through like almost 15 minutes of pauses. Just Jesus Christ on a cracker. And Hecarim coming out with the ultimate right on to Jarvan. This could be a mistake here, burning that CC for one member that isn't even going to get killed. Now Renekton's sitting in here, and we'll go ahead and take that explosive spider from Elise. But Sona going to go ahead and ward, and then everybody's disengaging.
And it looks like the blue team will basically take from that engagement another push up through the mid lane. All of red team's pretty much there. Elise going to throw down a bit of poke damage at the moment. Elise wanting to go towards her tower. The blue team's going to disengage now officially, as they have no more creeps to be able to push with.
Well, they know that this is essentially the red team's time to engage, that if they want to come back, that they need to do it when Hecarim's ultimate isn't down, so they can't chain that CC together properly. They also need to have the right focus, which means chaining stuns together on Katarina. So what we're seeing here now is the blue team being very aware of this and deciding, you know what, we don't want to give them any advantage, let's just back off, we can go ahead and do something else in the meantime, or even just wait out these creeps. So now it looks like the red team is going to be doing blue buff, but what comes from this is that they might be baiting out the Baron fight right here.
Maybe. As the blue team does seem to be counter-warding the Baron ward at the moment. They're now basically pushing them up mid again. They have no ward coverage on that Baron right now, so if they bait out the Baron fight, they could possibly mean that the red team will have to make an engagement. The red team seem a little bit split right now. Oh no, this may go quite badly as they're engaging on Elise now.
Yeah, Elise is forced to flash out of here, and Renekton's just going to back off. Sona's in a really bad position. She's going to follow up with a crescendo, but nobody's going to be able to do anything. Ah, Sona, what were you doing? And this could be exactly what the red team needs, but they're not going to engage onto this. Oh, no.
Blue team getting straight out of that, and a good choice, too. They lost that Sona. Sona, really bad positioning right there. Didn't really see that the rest of the team were pretty much coming onto that blue team there. Blue team a little too far away to be able to help Sona in any way, shape, or form. She blew a crescendo, but nothing really came out of it.
Yeah, I mean, she just died and it put her ultimate on cooldown. Luckily, it doesn't have too long of a cooldown, and she's going to be dead for a while, which should hopefully compensate for it a little bit. But they need to group back up, and they need to engage on one of these fights where they're able to chain the CC together again, or the red team needs to capitalize when they catch somebody like this out. Even if it's just the support, that's so much CC that you don't have to bother with in the fight anymore. It's going to make Katarina that much more focusable, because focusable is a word, and I can't believe I just said that.
Lunet's Dictionary, ladies and gentlemen. Buy it for 99 cents.
Yeah, 4.2 gay in all honesty, and focusable, coming to a store near you. And now we see blue team picking up this dragon right here, going to help to further their gold advantage as they go down this bot lane. They're just looking to push at the moment until they can really pick a fight. Hecarim's ultimate is back up now after that time that he used it to engage on to Jarvan, but we also see Crescendo coming up here in just a couple of moments. So hopefully we'll see a nice team fight coming out of all of this in the next minute or two.
Next one, too, indeed. The blue team capitalizing on the tower shots as much as possible. They are trying to get that tower down nice and quickly, as quick as possible, to pick up that first another tower there. They are poking it down whenever the creeps are pushed, which is pretty much the right move they need to do if they can't hit any of the other champions, which they couldn't, so.
Yeah, now Caitlyn is getting some nice poke downs. These traps into Piltover Peacemaker are making it quite easy for her. But we're seeing this, just this push tactic coming out on the part of the blue team. And now, oh no, we see Elise and Tarek caught out here. The spider form goes out, but she doesn't have too many places to go. The crescendo is down, and this Tarek could be in a world of trouble. The Hecarim ultimate coming out, and now Jarvan forced to flash over the wall. Varus over here, but Katarina with those resets will be doing quite a bit of damage. As now that Varus ultimate is up and will manage to chain everybody together, but nobody wanting to commit further to this engagement, and so all that will result from that is Tarek falling, and now the blue team rushing up on a turret in the bot lane. Jarvan now in a world of pain here as that stun goes down to him. The ultimate has gone out. It will manage to connect with him from Caitlyn, but it will not be enough. That ace in the hole not being able to burn through Jarvan's natural bulk as well as that locket and Giant's Belt combo.
I think Lunets Army are really learning from every engagement they do. They know not to overcommit right now. They know they're in a nice spot, a nice comfy spot where they're in a perfect position to steamroll pretty much over the red team, but they're not overcommitting so much so that they can get engaged on themselves. And that's pretty much why blue team have been doing so well in these engagements. They're not overcommitting any of the engagements. They're getting straight in there, and then when the engagement's done, they're pulling straight out.
Oh god, I'm gonna cry. Everybody's making fun of me in the chat now. All the QQs, man, all the QQs.
Oh god.
Oh, but in the meantime, it looks like Renekton just going to go ahead and clear out this creep wave here. He's taken quite a bit of damage from Ahri, so he's most likely going to be forced to back at this point. The rest of his team starting to clear out those wards over Baron. And it looks like they're prepping to do this by their ward placement. They want to go ahead and either contest a Baron in a full-on 5v5, or they want to take Baron for themselves.
They're definitely hanging around it quite neatly. They're making sure there's no wards around at the moment, which is probably the best thing they can do right now. There's not really an engagement they want to go into right now. Red team not really wanting to go into engagement either. Random ultimate there by Caitlyn. Don't really know if it hit anything though.
No, it did just go back on cooldown, so she went ahead and accidentally procced it looks like, and then reset it, so it was put down on a very short cooldown, and it doesn't look like she'll be any worse for wear now, as the red team starts to group up a little bit. Blue team looking to go ahead and take care of these wraiths right now. It looks like everybody's just trying to bait them back into this brush and try and get really some kind of fight going on here. They really want to pick an engagement. They're very strong right now, and they just want to surprise somebody who steps a little too close, and they don't really have a choice because right now they don't have any vision on Baron, and here we go. It looks like the crescendo is going out, and there's Katarina for one kill. This bait worked out perfectly. The exhaust is down from Tarek, but he will surely fall here, and there goes the double kill, and now Jarvan, I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this, and there's the triple kill coming out from Katarina, and now the pings for the push are on. Man, that is a lot more difficult to say than it would really seem, but that is going to be a tier 2 top lane turret for the blue team right now to go ahead and press in on this base turret, and Varus in not a good position here as he's also going to fall for the ace. Renekton picking up that kill for his team, 22-6 at 32 minutes into the game, and this will be an inhibitor for the blue team.
Are we seeing a different Lunets Army right now? Because I swear they weren't doing this good in the last game. They just seem to have done really well this game and have just made all the right decisions and capitalized on every tiny mistake the red team has made, and it's just brought them so far ahead into this game. I swear I'm not seeing the same team right now.
Part of it has to be prolonging the laning phase. I mean, it did a lot for them. You saw they went ahead and capitalized on those ganks. They really shut some damage down from a number of individuals on the red team. And what sort of resulted in this was not only an extensive gold advantage coming out from them, but we also, oh no, oh my goodness, she managed to get away from it. Oh my god. Wow.
She did get hit by that spider, but it was already as she was transporting, so she managed to back away and still take that damage.
Yep, somebody's saying we went ahead and actually caught what was going on. It's actually Skara playing Katarina right now. We're gonna have to disqualify them from the tournament, so nah, but they're doing incredibly well. They really knew how to handle this situation and how to handle it properly, and what we're seeing now is a prolonged laning phase into the team fight phase that they're just able to dominate. They know exactly how to go about it. They're chaining up their CC perfectly. You know, both teams really running an AoE comp right now, and this Sona crescendo into the Hecarim ultimate is working out very well for them, because what they're doing is they're waiting for the stun from the crescendo to essentially end, and then they're going in with the ultimate from Hecarim to go ahead and prolong crowd control as long as they're possibly able to. What happens with that is that Katarina is able to just sit in a team fight and press R and get those resets, and we see exactly what that can do.
Absolutely. We already see now that Katarina is also forcing off a ultimate there, managing to try and shoot. I believe it was Elise she managed to get a good shot on, but Elise did repeat a little too late, I must say, to avoid that Caitlyn ulti. However, not really much going on. You can see Hecarim and Renekton now farming the mid lane right now. Really nice push going on for them. They're going to try and take this mid tower. Maybe they might be able to do it. Jarvan's bottom right now. They know Jarvan's bottom. but they are pinging to go for Baron right now.
Exactly. With the jungler in bot lane, they have a very good chance of either baiting out a fight here at Baron or just doing it for themselves. Now, luckily, the red team has vision of this, so they're going to see this ward here. They're going to know that they have vision, but Baron might just burn too quickly for them. And no, it looks like they're actually going to disengage. And it looks like they're going to go for the engagement here. Renekton going in for the flash engage. Varus' ultimate being busted down, but there we go. It looks like the flash crescendo coming out will manage to snag 2 people into it. The Cataclysm going down, but it's not going to be enough. Ari managing to pick up the shutdown bonus, and Jarvan managing to shut down Hecarim himself, but it will not be enough. This will result in an ace on the part of the blue team. Caitlyn picking up that last hit on the kill, and now it looks like there's going to be a push to end the game from both
there's going to be a
Renekton and
surrender.
Sona. Yeah! Okay, that works too.
And ladies and gentlemen, Lunets Army takes the victory for our weekly tournament 24.
Yep, and ladies and gentlemen, that will be the finals. Lunets Army managing to take that home at 35 minutes into the game rather, and a commanding lead of 27 to 8 kills. That will close out this weekly number 24. Remember, guys, go and check out TowerDive.tv. We've got a new website up with all kinds of little neat goodies. And in the meantime, now that we're going ahead and close this out, I'm actually going to change the stream title and make things exceptionally difficult for Foxy, because I'm just going to keep the stream up here while I do my marathon.
Whereas nice. I am probably going to be signing
That's
out
not
for
very
tonight.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
Good night,
dear.
Mystriopolis.
Good night, Mr. Azaraki.
Night,
if anyone
Mystery.
Stay up past midnight to do this.
it's not too bad. I mean, I still had fun doing it, so it's not too bad, and I enjoyed doing it anyway. So it's I don't want to say it's not too bad again, but we'll say it again anyways. Yes, Sly, I will say hello to my girlfriend. In fact, she is listening to you right now, me right now. So I'd love to stay, but I do have a girlfriend to go
That
and
totally
see.
isn't
So,
the right thing.
but thank you very much, guys, tonight. Pleasure casting for our viewership tonight. Remember, if you would like to follow us on